Since the timeline before the emergence of digital superintelligence is probably relatively short, we shouldn't wait around and hope for a beneficial AI to bring humans gladly into a post-scarcity techno-utopian future, but prepare accordingly for the worst, because we do not know what our future holds. Humanity has no previous experience with any form of advanced artificial intelligence, but despite what movies, sci-fi books and video games have taught us, artificially intelligent machines are most likely going to behave more like ruthless business corporations rather than like malevolent killer machines.
Now you might say, well, if a computer starts sticking electrodes into people's faces, we just shut it off. A, this is not necessarily so easy to do if we've grown dependent on the system. Where is the off switch to the internet? B, why haven't the chimpanzees flicked the off switch to humanity? The reason is that we are an intelligent adversary. We can anticipate threats and plan around them, but so could a superintelligent agent, and it would be much better at that than we are. Point is, we should not be confident that we have this under control here, and we could try to make our job a little bit easier by, say, putting the AI in a box, like a secure software environment, a virtual reality simulation from which it cannot escape. But how confident could we be that the AI couldn't find a bug? Given that merely human hackers find bugs all the time, I'd say probably not very confident. The point here is that we should not be confident in our ability to keep a superintelligent genie locked up in its bottle forever. Sooner or later, it will out.
According to Nick Bostrom, existential risk is one where an adverse outcome would either annihilate Earth-originating intelligent life or permanently and drastically curtail its potential. And unless we manage to get our act together quickly and decisively, humans are most likely going to destroy themselves before we even face the AI risk scenario. Nick Bostrom thinks that an existential risk is one where the end of humanity is not just possible, but likely. He considers the risk of nuclear war to be a comparatively mild existential risk. In order for humans to remain able to engage in some form of meaningful communication with AI in the years ahead, we need to be sure to develop AIs that value and care for the well-being of humanity, because without an ethical framework, advanced AIs will only seek to fulfill their own ambitions of self-preservation and forget to be kind.
In the car business, we get regulated by Department of Transport, by EPA, and a bunch of others. And there's regulatory agencies in every country. In space, we get regulated by FAA. So there's a role for regulators. That's very important. And I'm against overregulation for sure, but I think we better get on that with AI. There'll certainly be a lot of job disruption, because what's going to happen is robots will be able to do everything better than us. All of us. This is really the scariest problem to me. Because you've got companies that are racing, that they kind of have to race to build AI, or they're going to be made uncompetitive. Essentially, if your competitor is racing to build AI and you don't, they will crush you. There's something like 12% of jobs are transport. Transport will be one of the first things to go fully autonomous. But when I say everything, the robots will be able to do everything, bar nothing.
The thesis that AI can pose existential risk also has many strong detractors. Skeptics sometimes charge that the thesis is crypto-religious, with an irrational belief in the possibility of superintelligence replacing an irrational belief in an omnipotent God. Current skeptics argue that AGI is unlikely in the short term. Computer scientist Gordon Bell argues that the human race will already destroy itself before it reaches the technological singularity. Some AI and AGI researchers may be reluctant to discuss risks, worrying that policymakers do not have sophisticated knowledge in the field and are prone to be convinced by alarmist messages, or worrying that such messages will lead to cuts in AI funding. One can't help themselves but wonder if funding in AI research is truly more important than the possibility of strong AI wiping out humanity. Hopefully, we will have the choice to collectively decide what's our best move and not leave the matter in the hands of a small group of people to unilaterally make that decision for us.